Hi everyone, welcome. This is another artist interview. I am here with Freyn. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Freyn?
I would actually say Freyn, but
Freyn?
yeah, but it's okay. You can just choose what you want.
I'll go with Freyn because that's how you correctly pronounce it. So everyone knows who I am, Tyler. So Freyn, I what kind of came up with that name? What kind of got you to decide on that?
Actually, it's like a combination of my first name and my second name.
Oh,
Cause like I just like didn't really knew what I wanted to choose, and then I was like, okay, just try something with the letters, and then I just changed like all the letters, and actually this just happened.
hey
Then I was
that
like, okay, we
hey
take the
that
first five letters of this disaster, and it's okay.
I mean, that works sometimes. Definitely. I found it interesting. I was like, Frayne. Okay, that's. I was thought it was just an interesting name. I wasn't sure because it was like German or something, but um,
No, it's actually not German. No.
so yeah. So well, I want to first ask because I ask every single artist this. What kind of got you into music? What inspired you? What got you started?
Oh, actually, I guess when you are 5 years old, you don't really choose.
Oh,
So like, I first started when I really were young with like playing the piano in classical lessons, and then when I got older, I just found that I loved drum and bass, and then liquid drum and bass was like the liquid funk was like the perfect mixture between like the classic types of music somehow with like the new type of modern music that I'm really listening to. And then I were like 1.5 year ago now, approximately. I wanna produce drum and bass because like I played the piano long enough and I should like try something else and do more electronic stuff.
yeah. I mean, I personally, I've really liked your drum and bass work. Because I remember like the first song I kind of heard was Shadow, and then Transform, and I was like, I really liked both of those months ago. But yeah, so that's actually kind of interesting. Because it's almost like music. It's like I didn't choose the music life; the music life chose me. But it's
Yeah.
like, but yeah, I completely understand like what you're talking about. With like piano and stuff. I feel like, especially if you're more classically trained, I feel like with piano, you feel like you're always writing classic, like you're playing classical, like writing classical music, where you kind of want to like mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so what DAW do you use?
Actually, it's FL Studio and Logic X sometimes, but
Hey,
only when I'm on the Mac setup of a friend.
hey, nothing wrong with that. So is there any specific plugins you use or instruments that you like, prefer to use a lot in your music?
I use like nearly all of the native plugins, like
Mm.
most of it. Like I really love native instruments and all the stuff they produce. I also have a machine MK3 here, like for also with the live performance stuff, but I just use it to create grooves because like how you can create drum and bass grooves with it is just like so lovely. It's I haven't found like a different controller for DAW that like use it so good because like machine is more or less DAW, but I use it in FL Studio.
Mm.
So yeah.
Huh. Well, I kind of want to ask too, then kind of follow on that. So, like, are you thinking about upgrading to Complete 13 when it comes out?
Mm, I don't think so because like I just got the full output engine set recently and
Oh,
I need like with all expansions
oh
etc and
wow.
I need to to discover every sound there. I guess there's so much more possible to find out than I was able in the last weeks and month.
Yeah, I would say Output makes some really good stuff. I know myself personally, I'm good. I actually just pre-ordered to get the complete 13 Ultimate because I do a lot of cinematic writing, so I kind of need those more cinematic kind of stuff. But
It's totally insane.
I know, oh man. I mean, if there's like one or two plugins you probably would say from like the new, like from the new complete, like what ones do you think you like the most?
Oof. Actually, I don't know which one. Like, I saw the that there was actually always love the piano types stuff
Hmm,
in there, and there was one I actually don't know how it was called. It was like a new
Noir?
upgrade from a actually new. It wasn't one of the bigger expansions there.
Was it Noir by any chance?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think it was that, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm really bad with names.
Right. I know myself personally. I'm excited for Mysteria because I've been needing a really good vocal, just a vocal plugin, and that's
Yeah,
just
I just use I'm just using Exhale like
oh yeah.
from output. It's insane.
Uh,
Just
I
just
Output is on my next bucket list of plugins I'm gonna get. I kind of need to save up for it though.
yeah,
It's
they are so damn
I
expensive.
know. Or like wait till like Black Friday or something.
Yeah, I
But
actually got them all in the pack with a huge discount code because
oh yeah.
like some it was like weeks ago I just entered their email list from them and then they were like here buy all of our stuff with 95% discount and I were okay, we take it.
Wait, 90. Whoa, 95.5%. Dang, you need to
it
show
was
me after
like
this.
it was
Where to
like
go check that out?
yeah, it was
Look,
so much. It was so damn.
I think the cheapest I ever saw it at, I want to say at most was I want to say $400 to $600. Like, and people might be thinking, "Whoa, that's expensive," but just to put it in perspective, I think if and you can probably correct me on this, I think all the expansions plus every single output plugin that's in with native instruments that's working with them, I isn't it like almost 5 grand? You might as well be buying like
Yeah,
two
it's
complete ultimates practically.
yeah, that's it, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, so even though it sounds like a lot, it really isn't. Like I got Novo for 200, and that's over a $500 plugin.
Yeah, it's damn expensive all this stuff. But arcade is also really great to run of them. Like it's
Arcade.
nearly everything in it. Like it has nearly everything. But it's like a monthly subscription, so I don't really like it.
Yeah, that was my one big thing too about arcade. I didn't like that about that. I was really excited because I forgot when it was. I actually got to beta test arcade a little. I forgot who got me in, but I ended up testing it out, and it only had at the time like 3 expansion, and we're talking small expansions. They're very small. Arcade's 10 times bigger than it was. This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And when I was trying it out, it was kind of clunky on just a Mac laptop. Like you really need a MIDI keyboard at your disposal all the time to kind of use it. That was kind of my biggest thing. And then the second thing was the monthly subscription, and I'm like, yeah,
Nah,
but I could probably get
nah.
a lot of these sounds and just pay a huge
Once.
chunk of money once and be done with it. And whether or not if I want to upgrade in the future, like I could decide on that. Like Omnisphere,
Yeah,
for
you just
example.
can buy an expansion pack. Like it's nothing
Yeah,
easier like that. Or
yeah.
just like buy a great synthesizer and then like you nearly can do everything.
So, all right, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Cool to hear your thoughts on that because I thought many people use I would not I shouldn't say not a lot of people because a lot of people use Complete. I mean, it's probably one of the most popular plugin bundles out there is Complete. But I would probably say like it's not often like I get to talk to artists who use it a lot. Most artists, especially in electronic, I think use more synthesizer based stuff like Serum and stuff. But it's
Yeah,
cool to hear
actually
that somebody
also
uses.
I also use Serum too.
Yeah.
So like obviously,
Oh,
and
of
Massive
course,
and
it's like a
Massive X.
standard.
So like Massive X will be so great.
Oh yeah, I I'm still playing around with Massive X, still getting my head wrapped around it. So I would probably ask.
I actually, when you buy like the machine, they just give you like all the programs or all the uh, sample stuff for it
Oh yeah,
with it. Like also there's also the normal massive in it, and I was like, why? Why did I buy it? Why?
why? So I actually so I kind of want to ask because again, you said you got into drum and bass. So what probably would say like if you had to name like five artists off top of your head, who would you probably say is like big artist inspirations to you?
Um, hmm. Actually, I love Coven. You know her, like one of
Don't
the.
don't know too much drum and bass artists. I'll be very honest.
Yeah, it's actually fine. It's like I'm also more like in the liquid funk region, so like
Mm.
the liquid drum bass region there. But actually, they are really known in the drum bass scene. Like also Marduk or Marduk. Actually don't know how it's pronounced correctly because my English isn't that great.
How is it spelled?
Maduk.
I think it's Matic. Yeah, I think you pronounced it right.
Yeah. So yeah, he's actually really really great artist. I also like have most of the vinyl of him. I really love the old stuff there. Like most of the new albums I'm always buying on vinyl instantly. Um yeah, Metric, actually really well known, I guess. But yeah, that are like the three biggest artists that I'm inspired by. But actually, like when I'm producing a song, I never have like other artists or other people say sometimes they use like reference songs.
Mm.
I would say I never used that until now. Like I have melody stuff in my head, and that's my reference. Like that's why like I think the mixing stuff is like getting better in the later songs now, because like yeah, I just needed to improve in the skill there.
I mean, mixing is definitely a skill coming from. I mean, I'm friends with a bunch of mixing engineers. I'm more of a mastering engineer versus mixing, but um, mixing is definitely a skill that you kind of acquire over time with lots and lots and lots and lots of practice, just constant practice. Um,
Yeah, that's what like everyone says. So
well, speaking of music and stuff, I know you released. It came out today, right? Dark
yeah,
Sun.
yeah, it came out today.
So, can you tell me a little bit about it? Like,
Yeah, it was like I created this in this summer when I were really really stressed, and like the lyrics were like I had a few words from a sample pack, and I was like, okay, let's write something around that, because I found them so beautiful that because it was so fitting so perfectly in the situation, because like when I was so damn stressed because like all of life and corona stuff was going on, and I'm actually working in a hospital, so it was a bit hard at the times there. And then I heard these vocals, and I were like, okay, I wanna create something to this, and or with this. And then like it was it was actually a process of a few weeks where the melody um was created, because like I wrote the first two parts first, like of the melody, and then I just swapped everything around, and somehow then this happened. What is now like the main melody here, and yeah, that's actually the process how it was created, and like the main thoughts and the main energy from me that came into the track was because I wanted to make the main point of the lyrics. I wanted to show it to everyone because like they just made to lighten my dark sun a bit up. So was really really like while I were creating it was really helping me to through this time, and that was the thing that I wanted to share with the world. Why I were then releasing it, because actually I'm not releasing a lot of the tunes that I'm starting.
Wow. And honestly, to be honest, music kind of helps us breathe and kind of I would always say like you always could tell a good song by the emotions you feel. I feel like uh
Yeah,
and like you kind of can hear that in some of your music, and I always appreciate that. That's always something that not a lot of artists, especially nowadays. I just with all the junk on the radio nowadays, and not to bash big artists, but it's like here in the U.S. especially. I mean, in a lot of states and stuff, unfortunately, there's not too many electronic stations here in the U.S. anymore. And there's not. I feel like too much stuff is mainstream. There's a few radio stations. Shout out to 92.5 The River in Boston. That's. I'm actually from New Hampshire, so. But that's one radio station. That's probably one of the greatest stations I know because here in the U.S. because they play independent artists all the time, and they're an independent station. They also play they just new music, and sometimes they play like chill stuff at night. They'll play like it was weird. I actually was hearing vaporwave and synthwave. Uh,
wow.
yeah, 10 o'clock at night, and it was like on a weekday. It was like random. I was like, okay,
Okay.
but come to find out, yeah, they play that
Why
like,
not?
yeah. I mean, it wouldn't shock me either if they played Liquid D&B. Unfortunately, I live here in Florida now, so I don't get to, so I have to kind of put it on through TuneIn. But I'm always kind of curious because like, but I don't usually listen late at night. I'm usually asleep at that point. So but that, yeah, and I can imagine your stress level, man, because especially with how hectic things been with COVID and working in a hospital. I mean, you're working direct contact towards it, so that must be awful over the summer.
Yeah, it was just like horrible with the mask all day, and it was so damn hot.
Oh, I can imagine.
And
Well,
yeah,
I do
but
appreciate you.
actually, it's fine. Like it was needed, so
Hmm.
and it's still needed.
Oh, for sure. Please tell us here in the US. A lot of people
Yeah,
think we
I
don't.
actually don't know how it's exactly over there. I just know that it's bad.
Well, a lot of places have opened up, and there's a reason we haven't. That's enough said.
Uh,
But it's because I
yeah.
think it's and not to get political, and I don't like to get to politics about and especially doing artist review, but it's
Yeah.
because it's a state by state thing, whereas most
Mm.
places it was a country decision. So you had the whole
Yeah.
country decide. We didn't. It was each state kind of had a decision. So
But I'm from
there was that.
Germany, and we actually had exactly the same.
Really?
Like we also have 18 states, and they
Oh.
also all can decide themselves. And they were also like, and everyone there were different rules. Like in some you were allowed to go outside without a mask. With some you were allowed to go in shops without one, and in others not. Not
Oh.
was completely stupid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds like my state. I live in, like I said, I live in Florida. And the way Florida decided it, so some states just it was a whole statewide thing. Some states it was by a county thing. So in Florida, there's a whole bunch of counties. I mean, you got the West Coast counties, you got the East Coast counties, North counties, South counties. So you got all the counties. Like you could be where I'm at, which is in the county I'm at, where there was not a mandatory. It's not mandatory currently to wear a mask, but you could go to the county next to it and you could just cross that border. If you're not wearing a mask in a shopping plaza, you
Yeah,
you probably get in trouble. Like
Actually,
that's just how it
it's
is.
completely the same here.
Oh my
Completely the same.
gosh.
It was exactly the same here. So everyone like, why?
Oh. Well, it's actually kind of
Yeah,
refreshing to hear that we're not the only one doing this. Because I'm like, I wonder
yeah,
if we're the only country that's in a
and
way
then
doing it weird.
like the worst thing was now when the schools were opening. Like every
Oh yeah.
country decided themselves how they open the schools and when.
Mm.
And they actually told like the schools 2 days before they needed to open, or sometimes one day before, what rules are now like for the school. And they just needed to do it in one day. And they were like, what? How?
Wow. Oh
like
jeez.
like stuff where like the children then needs to be like always 1.5 meters difference between everyone. Like stuff like this. And completely stupid rules
They're like
sometimes.
6 feet. Sorry, American measurements. Is that like 6 feet?
Yes, wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just gotta convert.
Yeah, it's
We like being
yeah.
different.
I guess 5 maybe.
Well, that makes sense. Well, that's awesome. Do you have any tips or tricks that you want to share about creating music?
Mm, just
Or
do what you like and always do it. It will get better with time. Like it was like the same process with me. I just watched mainly YouTube videos to understand how the plugins work. Like if you understand the main structure of the plugins and how they really work and and how they would work in the analog world, if they are like plugins from the analog world, then you you will be able to use them and you will get better while using them.
hmm, well, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
and actually, like what I think is when you only look in the internet for the main structure of the plugins, or like for the real how it's how just for how it's used, then you will like find your own way how you use it. So because then you will just don't take it like others and drop it in the same way into your mix, or just use it on the instrument in the same way, because you don't actually know the way of them, you just know how it works, and
Hmm.
then you just try it on it and then you see if it works or not. That's like actually, I would say that's like the best way how to get the own style a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, well, is there any final thoughts you would like to share at all?
mm, Actually, I don't have anything in my head at the moment anymore.
Well,
Just
thank
like
you for joining us or joining me for doing this
yeah,
with me.
it was
I
a
was I'm
pleasure.
loving I'm loving this song by the way. Your latest
Thank
song,
you.
Dark
Thank
Sun.
you very much.
Yeah. And also, actually, I do have one question because I was blown away. I'm really happy how you kind of it was because I remember when I first talked to you, I like Shadow was at like what on SoundCloud like 2,000 plays something like that, and it was like I remember it was kind of I was on Spotify, but like there wasn't that much, and it just kind of blew up, and I was like, whoa! Like a month later. So like, do you have any tips for people who may be interested, like trying to learn more, like either the marketing or like the promotional side of things? Like, is there any?
Actually, I used playlist push and a bunch of money and Instagram ads.
Hey, that sometimes works.
So, like, and for Transform, it was actually kind of the same. Like, it was like also a different, as a mixture between. I had a list of email addresses where from people that own Spotify playlists. So I just have sent them all my track with a short review and all the stuff, and then some of them edited.
Oh wow.
And yeah, also like the same with the Instagram ads, like just a small budget at the start to trigger the algorithm a bit, and then Okay, that's it's okay. We don't want to spend too much.
Well, no, no, not at all. I know I've been down that path. With because but that was more for like company stuff that I was trying to get people onto my website for sale packs.
Ye-
But
I just tried like for Spotify the playlist push stuff, and it actually worked, but it's really expensive for that what it does. So
yeah,
I did it too late, so the song was already released like 2 weeks or months until I started to really promote it. So when like the algorithm don't likes that of Spotify, so
yeah. I was say playlist push. That's the like play like the Spotify business kind of like page, like the one that where like labels artists can like do like promo campaigns and stuff.
it's not from Spotify, I think. It's a different also it's I think it's a independent company, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I have to look this up. Playlist push. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah,
Interesting.
same.
Because I know for me personally, like I'm kind of like I'm always looking at different ways to promote our artist music because I know we've got a network of
Like
YouTubers.
it's in my opinion one of the networks that is 100% clean with zero bot plays. So like they really care about their playlists, and they kick recently. I just looked on the stats and stuff from the playlists, and I had one playlist there that was a bit wishy, like not really correct in my opinion. And actually, he just got kicked a week after I reported him.
Huh.
So
Oh wow.
they just checked it and were like, okay, we kick him. And yeah, that actually works quite good. Like I had um, something around 30 to 40 submissions.
Oh wow. That's really good then.
Um, yeah, like no, like when you not accepts just like just sends, and from that, like I had like 50% acceptance rate. That was actually really good in my opinion. So it was kind of good because like you can actually target like the drawer kind of good. Like they actually have like the most drawers, also the smaller ones, and they show you how many playlists they have in each. So it's kind of good, and in a serious company, but a bit expensive.
Yeah, I was just taking a look. Wow, that is expensive. That pricing. Whew. Well, thank you, Freyn, for joining me today, and I wish you the best with your next releases. I hope to play some of them again on the desk and possibly on Eat Nation. We will see. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, man.
Yeah, I hope the same. I actually will have a good evening, but
Oh yeah, this is nighttime for your
yeah,
time right now.
yeah, it's 9:30 p.m. now.
All right,
So,
well, that concludes our
but
interview. So thank you also to
yeah.
everyone who tuned in today to watch.